Happy 4th of July from Brooks and Christie here at Smoky Mountain Faith Food and Fun. As a nation of immigrants, so many great foods have made it into our everyday lives that were brought from somewhere else. Over time, these foods have become popular here and woven into the fabric of what is considered Americana. From hot dogs and hamburgers to apple pie, sit back and relax as we show you the top 10 all-American foods for us here in the Smokies.
Number 1 is the hot dog. Americans eat over 150 million every 4th of July.
Hard to find a better hot dog than Dolly's famous slaw dog at Frank Allen's Grill in Sevierville. A local landmark since 1961, the hot dog here is loaded up with onion, chili, and that family recipe slaw to make the perfect hot dog. Frank's family still comes in every day to make the slaw themselves, setting this apart from any other hot dog in the Smokies. The hot dog itself has achieved icon status. And speaking of icons, can we just vote, Dolly, for president in 2024? At the beginning, we noted that we were a nation of immigrants, so where did we get the hot dog? A German immigrant in Coney Island, New York named Charles Feldman. He did it for convenience so that beachgoers would have a portable food that didn't require plates or silverware. Last year alone, Americans spent a whopping $8 billion on the hot dog.
We don't just have one place for the favorite hot dog, we have two. Welcome to Red's Soda Fountain in downtown Sevierville. The hot dogs here are absolutely wonderful. They are steamed in the old-fashioned steamer along with the buns, quarter pound, made any way you want them, whether you want them American style with ketchup, mustard, onion, and relish, or you want a slaw dog with chili or cheese. They've got it here at Red's. Remember I mentioned that Americans eat 150 million hot dogs on the 4th of July? Stacked end to end, those would go from Washington, D.C. to LA 5 times.
Number 2 is the most popular food in America, the hamburger. You can't talk about burgers in the Smokies without talking about Chubbys, a family-run business that started out in a gas station and has now expanded to its second location here at the restaurant. The Chubby Burger has to make this list because we're talking about a half-pound burger, hand-patted, topped with bacon, slow-roasted pork, barbecue sauce, grilled onions, and smothered in cheddar cheese. I mean, look, it takes a knife just to hold it up. Now, the burger originated in Hamburg, Germany, but it started here in Wisconsin in 1885, and the burgers that Americans eat in 1 year could circle the globe 32 times. Or with a man-sized burger like the Chubbys burger, maybe it would cut it in half to only 16 times.
Not just one, but 2 burgers made our favorite list here in the Smokies. The second one is here at Junction 35 Distillery and Kitchen. This is such an awesome place for you to dine if you're out in the Mountain Mile in Pigeon Forge. This is the J35 burger. It is a smash burger with 2 smash patties, pimento dip, bacon jam, lettuce, tomato, sauteed onion, and J35 sauce. And look at that gorgeous bun. Do you have a favorite burger in Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge, or Sevierville? We would love to know about it. Tell us down below in the comments what your favorite burger is in the Smokies. Number 3 is succulent and saucy ribs. Our first choice for ribs is taking us back to Sevierville to Winfield Dunn Parkway to Tony Gores Smoky Mountain Barbecue. And let me tell you what, everything that you're gonna get here is fantastic. But my favorite thing are those absolutely amazing fall off the bone ribs. They are tender, juicy, and full of so much flavor. You just absolutely cannot go wrong with Tony Gores ribs.
Speaking of ribs, how about Corkys ribs in Pigeon Forge? Some of the best ribs anywhere. And speaking of that, they'll even ship these ribs to you anywhere in the country. Corkys is Memphis style barbecue at its best. When you think Memphis style, you think pork, and you think dry rub, and you think sweet sauces. Well, at Corkys, muddy is the way to go because they're using both their signature dry rub and their sweet sauce for a rib that has the best of both worlds, flavor and texture. Did you know that ribs are so popular today that 40% of all casual dining restaurants in the U.S. have ribs on their menu? You know that Corkys had to be included on this list because Christy does her famous fork twirl, but a rib twirl? Oh yeah, she does it because these are just that good. Coming in at number 4, who doesn't love a good chicken wing?
For favorite wings, Brooks and I agree hands down that the best wings in the Smokies are going to come from Trotters Whole Hog Barbecue, where they are smoking them fresh every day. This place has become like home to us and we love it. They have 6 different sauces to choose from and the wings are huge, beautiful, and juicy.
While we love Trotters, we got to give a nod to the first plate of wings that was served in 1964 at a family-owned establishment in Buffalo called the Anchor Bar. Since then, wings have taken on a life of their own and popularity all across America. Chefs and food inventors all across the land pride themselves in creating unique and flavorful sauces to please the masses of Americans who eat, listen to this, 1.45 billion wings every year.
So when you're in the Smokies and you're craving some wings, we highly recommend that you go downtown Sevierville to Trotters. You will not be disappointed. Number 5 is Meatloaf, and we're not talking about the rock star. Our first choice for Meatloaf is going to be at Pucketts in Pigeon Forge. Pucketts is a great all-around American restaurant that serves barbecue as well as good old Southern home cooking. Look at that plate of Southern comfort food. The Pucketts meatloaf is house-ground, slow-smoked meatloaf, and it is finished off on the grill. It's got onions and mushrooms and that wonderful brown gravy, and of course with mashed potatoes. It is one of my very favorite meatloafs that I've ever had anywhere. This one definitely gets a fork twirl, maybe 2.
Going back to Trotters, because if you've not had the smoked meatloaf from Trotters, you are missing out. This recipe actually comes from the chef's mother, and it's finished off with a house-made tomato jam done on white bread with Duke's mayonnaise. This is a meatloaf sandwich that's just good old comfort food. Who doesn't remember their mom fixing meatloaf and having leftover meatloaf sandwiches? Well, I tell you what, they have elevated it, and it's so good here at Trotters. Meatloaf originated from Dutch and German immigrants, and it was Depression-era food, just meant to make their resources stretch. Well, today, as we mentioned, meatloaf is becoming a more elevated dish as chefs find new ways to prepare it, and National Meatloaf Appreciation Day is October 18th.
Up next at number 6 is a Southern American tradition, fried chicken. For both Brooks and I, there is just one place for fried chicken in the Smokies, and that is Mama's Chicken Kitchen in Gatlinburg. In fact, our whole family agrees this is the only place that you're gonna find the most amazing fried chicken. It's crispy, juicy, full of amazing flavor, and those biscuits and jam, you can't beat those either.
While Scottish immigrants are credited with bringing fried chicken here, it was made popular as a Southern staple by a colonel in Corbin, Kentucky.
Coming in at number 7 are those addictive round pastries with a hole that we call donuts.
There is only one place for donuts in the Smokies, and if you know, you know, because it's tucked away back here in the village in downtown Gatlinburg, the oldest shop in the village. The Donut Friar open at 5 a.m. daily. They've been making these great pastries since 1969. You're going to want to get here early because the cinnamon twists and even just the plain cake, they go pretty quick. But those are two of our favorites, and we usually like to take those and have a little donut picnic right up the road at Minot Park. When we say they're doing it old school here, we're not kidding around. It is cash only, but there is an ATM on site for you.
We would love to know what your favorite donut is if you visited the Donut Friar. And babe, I think it's time for another one of those donut dates.
Coming in at number 8, Subs. Hometown Heroes is a family-run business that gives back in the local community to veterans, first responders, and local law enforcement. The restaurant is no frills, but pays homage to those who have served our country in order to protect our freedom, and it shows all over the walls. They just recently opened a second location in the arts and crafts community up in Gatlinburg. Two of our favorite sandwiches here are the beef and cheese and the Italian sub, the original sub sandwich. The beef and cheese is done on a hoagie roll with roast beef, pimento cheese, and a bacon habanero jam. Christy loves the Italian sub. She always just gets it on the hoagie roll, but they do that on an herb focaccia. It's got ham, salami, capicola, provolone, pepperoncinis. They've got a signature sauce with zesty Italian dressing as well. These are two of the best sandwiches here in the Smokies, and that's why we've got to give a nod to Hometown Heroes. So if you're in Sevierville or Gatlinburg looking for a great sandwich, Hometown Heroes is the place for you.
Hidden away in the back of a shopping complex in Pigeon Forge is Pigeon Forge Deli. In fact, this sub shop actually made our top 5 hidden gems in the Smokies. Everything here is handmade for you in front of you with fresh made bread daily. They do have several different kinds of bread. I'm trying the BLT here, and it is so good and toasty and delicious. And I also want to do a special mention of the pretzels. Gotta have a pretzel when you're there.
When it's available, the pot roast sandwich is always the way to go for me with au jus. But I say pot roast sandwich. We say subs. Submarine, Heroes, Hoagie, Grinder, Po' Boy, Rocket, Torpedo, Dagwood, Hero, Zeppelin, and if you're in Boston, for some weird reason, it's called a Spooky. So, what do you call it? Let us know in the comments below.
Number 9 is good old macaroni and cheese. Our first pick for best mac and cheese is going to take us to Townsend, Tennessee, which is also known as the peaceful side of the Smokies, to the Apple Valley Cafe. This is such a awesome, laid back, but delicious little cafe that you don't even know is there unless you know. If you know, you know. I was so surprised at how amazing that this baked mac and cheese was with several cheeses. It is just like your mama made or maybe your Grammy made. And isn't mac and cheese just truly the ultimate comfort food? You just can't go wrong with that ooey gooey cheesy goodness of the macaroni and cheese at the Apple Valley Cafe. You gotta get some. Looky there, it even got the famous fork twirl.
Back over in Pigeon Forge, we gotta go into Pucketts to get our second favorite mac and cheese, which comes out to you served in a cast iron skillet, piping hot. It's white cheddar mac and cheese, and instead of the traditional breadcrumbs, they top it with biscuit crumbs. This mac and cheese is simply to die for, and it is truly the ultimate comfort food done the southern way while Christy twirls that fork. Last but certainly not least is that good old all-American apple pie.
We are headed back to the Apple Valley Cafe and General Store in Townsend, or the peaceful side of the Smokies, to get their famous fried apple pie. Nope, this is not your traditional apple pie. This is even better. These are huge handheld pies with a nice brown crispy crust, lightly dusted with cinnamon sugar, and the inside is flaky, and you have these wonderful bits of apple throughout the inside. It is just the perfect balance of apple flavor, and it is delicious. We couldn't stop at 10. We've got an honorable mention, corn dogs.
For more than 40 years, anybody who's been walking up and down the strip in Gatlinburg, you can smell it. Go to Fannie Farkles, you gotta get an ogle dog. This is our honorable mention. So if you're coming to the Smokies for the 4th, you know about the Midnight Parade in Gatlinburg, the first one in the nation. Of course, Patriot Park's gonna have a big concert, fireworks later. No matter what you're doing, we hope it's a happy and safe 4th for you all as well. If you like the video, give us a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. And of course, make sure to hit that notification bell so you know when we've got new content posted. But for Christy and Brooks, we just want to say, God bless you, we love you, and we can't wait to show you what's next.
And God bless America.